Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now today I'm going to be celebrating my 900 subscriber special. Thank you guys so much for 900 subscribers. By the time this video is up, I'll probably be at 910 for some insane reason. But today I'm actually going to be showing you Thunderstruck wood. So when I was at Fort Spencer with some of my faction buddies, we came across this Thunderstruck tree and it was covered in fire and lightning. And so I started cutting it down. But then when I cut it down, one of my buddies grabbed the wood before I could, and yeah, so it looked like that, but then he grabbed it before me, and then I asked for it back because I was pretty triggered. I just spent that whole time cutting down the tree, and it turns out that this wood would actually be really valuable in game. So he did actually end up giving it back, which was actually really nice of him. So yeah, I guess he just wanted to have a look at it. He wants me to saw it into a plank though, but yeah, we'll go through that. So then he dropped it to me, and then somebody else picked it up, unfortunately, and then this kid gets on his horse and he starts running away, and yeah, it was really annoying. I don't know what he was doing, but he gets on his horse and he just starts riding away. Yeah, so I started chasing after him. And I got my skeleton horse. Luckily it was nighttime, because if I didn't have my skeleton horse I probably wouldn't have been able to catch up with him. I had to ditch everything and just go, because if I lost this guy and he got to a saw or sold the wood before I got there, then he would have just taken it all. So then I started shooting his horse, because you can't actually kill people that are in your faction unless you enable it. Unless you enable PvP. So I just started shooting his horse and trying to get him off his horse. And I did that. And I got to him. But I still couldn't do anything about it. So I was just thinking, how am I going to get this wood back? Because this was pretty triggering that he just got the wood. And then he got back on his horse. And I wasn't on my horse. So then I called mine. Just going to call it again. And then he headed up to Howling Peak. And he got to the base and he tried to saw it into a plank, and he knew that I really wanted to get the wood, but he just stole it. A lot of people join my faction because a lot of the time my faction will take up a lot of the server. Like we've got 40 something members now. So I ended up kicking him while we were chasing, but while I was riding I couldn't kick him. So he didn't actually think to sell it, he just wanted to store it, but then I think he realized that he couldn't actually sell it, and then I started looking for him, because everybody looked the same-ish. So then I found him in there, and then I clicked kick, so then he's no longer part of the group. Then I found his tag disappear, so I knew where he was. There he was, and I think he just kept running, because he was protected. I think he was running because he was embarrassed, or didn't want to be seen, or still running away with the wood. I don't know why people do that, but yeah. So I get on my horse to chase him, and then this is where the fun begins, because he started heading towards the tunnel that goes to Bronze City. Yeah. If I fell off my horse here, I probably would have lost him. So I started shooting him again. My plan was to shoot his horse because it was a bigger target, and then I took him out and then got the wood. So now that we have the wood, I can have a look at it, and that was that ended up working out pretty well. Then my other guys started asking why I did that, but then I'm just like, I don't know why you would ask that question. So now I have the wood, and then I headed back to Spencer because there was a bank there after having a bit of a conversation with these guys. Yeah, really good because you can actually use your bank while wanted when you're in a fort, which is nice, and they all link up together with the normal banks. So it says there it's worth $2,000, but it drops on death, which made it very nice for retrieving it back. But then I needed to get to Spencer quickly, so then I was in less danger of being killed by somebody else, because I am also wanted now for $160. So people are going to want to get me, because after you get like over 150, you're sort of near the top of the list, and then you become a priority kill. And then we no longer owned that fort, so then I was wondering what I could do. Because I didn't want to teleport anywhere or reset character. I didn't want to get arrested or killed. because it would just drop the wood. I didn't want to turn myself in either, because I didn't know if that would drop it, because anyone who sees literal flaming wood, like molten wood, isn't just going to let it sit there on the ground. So yeah, I started trying to shoot at them to try and see what I could do in terms of getting the fort, because that was probably the nearest bank. And then I started to get a bit worried because there were some people that weren't in my faction nearby. And I'm not like an Apex sort of kid. Like, I'm not a insane PvP player. I can kill someone, or I can kill a few people solo, but I'm just not good at panic shooting. Like, when you're in the middle of a big fight, I'm not very good at calming down and aiming, even though I know that they're probably panicking too, if you know what I mean. So I started heading back to bronze, and then told my other guys that I'd be back. Unfortunately, when you do /team commands in this chat, it doesn't do your faction. I haven't tried /faction or anything like that, but unfortunately, when you do /team, it does whether you're innocent or wanted or sheriff. So that was a bit annoying. So yeah, I started heading back the safest route, which was probably the longest route. And I was very cautious when passing by spawn points such as the Callahan Manor, because people there normally spawn near Canyon, so then they can help out their buddies, and it can be for wanted and innocent people. And I was careful with the train too, because the train can kill you. It's got a massive kill box on the front, which means that if you touch the front of the train at all, no matter the speed, it can deal massive damage, if not kill you, instantly. And then if you get caught near the rails or get tangled up there, then you can die as well. And I passed by some crocodiles and some other people that weren't in my faction, so that was a bit worrying as well. And just remember, we're talking about $2,000 in-game, which isn't nothing, but there's some more interesting stuff that happened later in the video. So yeah, I approached bronze, and then it said just then that we captured Spencer, so I thought, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to go all the way to Spencer, it's probably safer than this. So I ended up doing an entire lap of the map. Later in the game, and I didn't record this, by the way, which was a bit unfortunate. There was a kid that was a menace, right, and he was wanted for $375, and I was a sheriff, and he was hiding in Copper Gulch Mine in the entrance closest to the Bronze City spawn. And you know how when you walk into that entrance, there's a beam sort of when you hit the cross section, like when you go to the first turn of the tunnels. Next to that beam, there's a ladder that goes down to the bottom level. Well, I was in the bottom level, and he was above me. He was hiding behind the beam, and then the entrance to the tunnel below is behind the beam. So I climbed up the ladder to that entrance, and ended up sneaking up behind him, and he didn't even know I was there, and he was reloading all his guns, waiting for people to attack him. And then it turned out that he had actually not heard me at all. So I got out my bat as the sheriff, which was very useful, and then I whacked him twice. He was on the ground, and I arrested him, and he was being super duper salty, and he was literally just chatting the whole time that I was an idiot. And then he called me a bobo, which is Filipino for dumbass, so that wasn't very nice. But I also was like, lol, I arrested you, and that sort of thing, and kept calling him triggered. Probably wasn't very helpful, but at the end, he said that he found a Thunderstruck tree, so then I stopped being mean, because I thought, that's past, that's over now, may as well just go back to normal playing. And then he realized I wasn't trying to be mean anymore, and then he wanted to 1v1 me still to get revenge, so I said, do you want to kill me? Okay, kill me. So then I just let him kill me. And yeah, we ended up becoming friends, and he ended up giving me 3 more Thunderstruck wood for free. So basically I got 8k wood, 8k worth of wood for free, essentially, in total. Yeah, so I'm just praising my team for capturing this fort, and it was really helpful of them to do that, because if they hadn't captured the fort, it would have been a very tricky situation, because I was actually considering going to bronze to turn myself in, and I still wasn't sure whether that would make me drop the wood when you get arrested, because I know that happens sometimes as well. So if I go into, this is normal wood there, So if I'm just going to check how full these turrets are. They're all full now. So then I'll just do a check of the perimeter, because people also don't check the perimeters of their forts for ladders. No one does that, and that's how I always get in. If you have a bow, which is a fairly quiet weapon, if you have a bow and you have one ladder, you can literally just go into any fort and just hide on top of those towers and shoot people silently and then take over the fort really easily. So now we have it in our inventory. $2,000 wood. I'm going to try and turn it into a plank. It doesn't actually let you, so that's probably why he didn't turn it into a plank before, the other guy. But it says that it's for advanced building in the description of the item, which is very weird. So yeah, maybe it's for a later on update, but apparently Thunderstruck wood only recently came out, like literally the update before this video was released. Yeah, very interesting. But here he is, he gave me 2 more wood, and this was 2 after he had already given me an extra 1, so thanks to him. I did not understand why he kept giving me that wood, because it was worth a lot. That wood is like the most expensive item, even more expensive than diamond ore, which is 500, or bear claws, which are like 400 something. It's like 5 bear claws worth or something, and they're really rare. Or the crocodile teeth as well, 5 of them. Like, that's quite rare, so I chucked it straight into my bank, because I'm going to save it and see what happens in future updates, because now that I've got 4, who knows what it's going to be used for in the future. And then everyone started realizing that I was recording and whatnot, and they were just like, oh, what are you doing? Can I get a picture and whatnot? Which is pretty fun to know that people actually want to get in a picture and whatnot, so then I ended up organizing with them, that sort of thing, and then I told him how much the wood was actually worth, and he's like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, very nice of him. Did not expect it at all. So, yeah. Thanks to him. So here's a picture of me and him. His username is Alimmarohom95 if you want to friend him on Roblox. And then here we have a picture of 2 other guys that saw that I was recording and really wanted a picture. So first guy is oofguy12_34, and then the other guy is Evermore something or other. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you found this video helpful in terms of using and finding Thunderwood. You can find it in any forest that has a lot of trees at night time normally during a storm. But yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for 900. Bye.